Yes.
So the first question is on the present session that you are having on 40 hadith of Imam Khomeini.
Yes.
In the first hadith, Imam Khomeini tells people to take time and reflect and see where they are going, etc. Do we have steps to take to achieve this? I've always had problems knowing how to go about it.
Yes. Yes, there are stages, and inshallah we talk about some of them. There are books about these stages, like Manazil al-Sa'irin, stations after wayfarer. Many years ago, I had two series in two successive Ramadan in Istanbul about these stages, which I am not sure whether they are available or not. But recently also, I had a visitor from Canada, and it is a scholar, and suggested to me to teach Manazil al-Sa'irin. So inshallah, maybe in future, if Allah gives us tawfiq, we can talk about it. But the main stages are mentioned in this book, 40 Hadith. Inshallah, we come to that.
The second question is on Islamic morals.
Yes.
Assalamu alaikum, Sheikh.
Alaikum assalam wa rahmatullah.
Can you please give me a different example of habitual habit that has no intention of it? Whenever I think of any action, I feel we had intention, either noticeable or maybe not as noticeable.
Yeah. Perpetual habit is different from action. And that means a quality, like a malaka. So if you have this condition of, for example, generosity. Okay, generosity now, it's a fixed condition for your soul. This doesn't need intention, because this is a quality. Yes, if you were trying to achieve generosity, you had to do certain things. For those things, you had intention. For example, I'm not a generous person. I want to be generous because I know Allah loves generosity. Or maybe because I think people would love me. Or maybe I think this would be something that, for example, my wife wants from me, or my husband wants from me, my father wants. I can have different intentions when I am still trying to gain that quality. But when there is a quality and it has become a fixed condition, then it's not an action anymore. It's type of your being. And then it doesn't have intention. Therefore, if someone is generous, if someone is kind, if someone is brave, if someone is balanced, if someone is just, if someone is patient, we appreciate these qualities. But when it comes to actions, we cannot appreciate unless we know what's the intention. I hope this answers the question.
Once again, as these questions are answered, if there's anyone who has asked the question and the question is not fully answered, or if there's any further aspect to it that you'd like to ask, please feel free to ask those questions.
Yes.
I would like to jump on to a question on general questions that I believe has been there for some time now.
Yes.
It is question number 2 in general questions. Assalamu alaikum, Sheikh.
Alaikum
salam. Can you please explain this aspect of the Quran? In Surah Ma'idah, the ayahs relating to Ghadir are ayat number 3 and ayat number 67. Ayat 67 instructs Prophet ﷺ to relate what has been revealed to him.
Yes.
Ayat 6 declares the completion of Islam. Why is the sequence in the Quran in this way, and why have they been mentioned so far apart?
Yes. The order that we have in the Quran is not chronological. It's not that the first chapter is revealed first, the second chapter is revealed second. Or, for example, if a chapter is revealed at different times because long chapters were not revealed at the same time. So inside that chapter also, it's not that the first verse was revealed first, the second was revealed, for example, after that or with that, and the ending were revealed, later. No. There is no chronological order between chapters or inside chapters which were revealed in different times. We need to reflect on the verses, but we cannot think that necessarily all these verses came together in one chapter, or they came one after the other in the chronological order. This is a general rule that we have to remember.
Sheikh, I believe the second part of this question, at least the implied thing that I feel is part of this question, is not only is why they've been mentioned so far apart, but is there a possible reason why they would have been placed in those areas?
Yes. That one, I think we have discussed this in Imama series, that some verses about Ahlul Bayt and Imama are actually mentioned by Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala inside other discussions, as if they are somehow hidden or somehow inserted in another context. For example, the verses about Imama and Wilaya in Surah Ma'idah, or the verse Ayatul Tathir in Surah Ahzab, you see it is put among verses that are apparently not related to this topic. Why? Perhaps because it's a way to protect these verses. If all the verses about Imama and Wilaya were put together in one chapter, for example, or they were separate, then maybe some people would have rejected that whole chapter or have made sure that that chapter disappears from mind of people. This is a way of protection because Allah protects the Quran. But how He protects the Quran? He uses different means. One mean was this. One mean was by not mentioning the name of Imam Ali alayhi salam. Another reason is also because the issue of Imama was a test. Those who are really trying to understand, they will find it, whether it is mentioned in a separate chapter or separate paragraph or it's inside. But those who are not serious would not inquire and will miss it. They will miss it. So it's a test, it's a protection, it's part of Allah's wise plan for distributing His points in these verses of the Quran. There is a plan. Sometimes we don't understand the plan. Why this ayah has come here, why that ayah has come there. But we know that the order of the verses is based on Rasulullah's decision, and Rasulullah was not doing anything arbitrary. It was because of Allah's will. So Rasulullah was saying to put this ayah here or there. Yes, whether Rasulullah said to have Surah Hamd first, Surah Baqarah second, Surah Al Imran third, Surah Nisa fourth, that I am not sure. But inside each chapter, what to put, how to put, and even names of the chapters seem to be decided in the time of the Prophet sallallahu alaihi wasallam by his instruction.
Thank you very much.
You are welcome.
There are quite a few more questions questions, Sheikh, but it's also coming to around the time that we are. We got about 7-8 minutes now. Would you like to continue with some questions, or shall we go to the?
We can get one more question today. I have some more time.
Okay. So I'll go to question number 2 in Islamic morals.
Yes.
Question number 2 is: you say our heart cannot have love of Allah Subhanahu wa Taala for other things and for other things at the same time. There are some things that people do for entertainment, such as watch movies, read books, play games.
Yes.
Sometimes to the extent that we memorize lines and text from these things or become attached to fictional characters. Assuming the entertainment is halal and good, but not necessarily religious, when is it too much that it is affecting our love and dhikr for Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala?
I don't think I said we cannot have love for Allah and other things at the same time. Actually, we say it's possible, but there are different stages. First is you experience love for Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. But you may have other things also that you love, and maybe even you love them more. And this is where Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala in Quran warns us that if your parents, your children, your spouse, your houses, masakin tardawnaha aw tijaratun takhshawna kasada, your business, if these are more lovable, ahabba ilaykum min Allah, if they are more lovable to you than Allah, then you have to wait for a tragedy. So, one stage is someone doesn't have love for Allah. Another stage, he has love for Allah, but he has other things which are greater in love, they are more lovable. Then another stage is that your love for Allah becomes greater. You therefore would not sacrifice your love for Allah for other things. If needed, you sacrifice other things for Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. Then there is a higher stage that you only love Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. You don't love anything other than Allah, but under Allah you love other things. So you don't love anything independently, but you love other things through your love for Allah. So, for example, I may love my children independent from Allah and more than Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. Therefore, I am not able, for example, to do something. For example, if I was instead of Ibrahim alayhi salam, I would not been able to do what Ibrahim was prepared to do. Because I love Allah, but I'm not like Ibrahim, loving Allah more than my children. But sometime maybe we reach the level of Ibrahim, who loves Allah more. And even we can say Ibrahim loved his children because of Allah. He didn't love his children less. He loved his children. Even maybe he loved children more than what parents love their children when they love for the sake of children. When a friend of God, a wali of God, loves his children because he knows that these are gifts from Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, blessings from Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, he loves them even more. But through God, under God. So this is the situation. People may love other things other than God, but they have to reach the point that their love would be finally only for Allah independently, and anything else depending on Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala.
Thank you very much.
You're welcome.